Hi, my name is Melanie Mitzner, and I'm going to be reading from Slow Reveal, published by Anon Publications. I'm reading from Montreal, from unceded land of the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe peoples. Naomi sat in front of the fire, swelling off love like it was substance abuse. Surrendered the needle, turned down the fix. She consoled herself about the pain of withdrawal, convinced that time would heal. I hate the way you always exclude me when it comes to your daughters. If she were to be honest, her words rang false. She had no parental instincts. Truth be told, she was afraid of children, afraid of letting them down so she couldn't take responsibility for them. She simply wasn't capable. Some people aren't, she told herself, convinced she was the solitary type made to be alone while others were not. The phone rang again, but she didn't pick up. It was probably Jonathan. How many times did she have to endure his presence? Even in his absence, he was always there. Through the living room curtain, she looked out and noticed the fog had lifted. The shadow of the Japanese cherry tree fell across the field of snow. The moonlight was narcotic. She could lie beneath the window sash and sleep it off if it weren't for the clanking radiator jerking her from the nightmare she had wished it had only been a bad dream. With the burden of an uncertain future weighing her down, she moved languidly through the house, unpacking her bag as she went, dropping socks, boxers, and a starched white shirt on the wide plank floors. Without undressing, she crawled into bed and lay there praying for sleep. But the words by which she lived terrorized her like a dissident, forced to give up country and citizenship, having been censored for too many years. I want to reach the sky of you and never plateau, to reach the high of you and never land. She clapped her hands to her ears as if it were the sound of the words and not the thoughts that hurt. The comforter wrapped around her had once cushioned the cries of love. Those cries, she could still hear them, but now they sounded like bitter anguish. Anguish and ecstasy, separated only by a fine line between the paramour and the vanquished. I don't love you anymore, she swore in silence, wearing the lie like armor. I won't love you, she conceded the truth. Jonathan called Katharine from the living room, hunched over storyboards, working on a campaign for brainwaves, a line of smart drugs, the latest ruse for Generation Xers. When his art director turned in concepts that day, he anticipated big trouble. The client was anxious, competition fierce in the field of vitamin and nutritional supplements. If they didn't come up with a better concept, no doubt they'd lose the account. Too much was riding on his career. 9 long years as creative director at the agency with a staff begged, borrowed, and stolen from the arts after massive budget cuts by a previous administration that had better things to spend their money on, like weapons, cars, and Pop Tarts. Would you come here, please? Do I have to? The irritation in Katharine's voice was unmistakable. He relented and came to her with drawing implements in hand. A little early for sleep, isn't it? Something wrong? She reached out. Would you hold me, Jonathan? Please hold me. He would. He did. He never hesitated. She liked that about him. The way he crawled into bed and slipped his arm around her and pulled her to him. But there was a coldness to it, like an old house with too many cracks, and in the dead of winter the wind would howl right through them. You know how sex is a synaptic thing, neurotransmitted? Now we have smart drugs to enhance the senses, in this case, the libido. He didn't crack that cynical grin to which Katharine had grown accustomed ever since he started this crazy job. This time he actually looked serious. I'm afraid these ideas are too clinical, he added, staring at the storyboards. Would you take a look? You're so insightful. Something about being a film editor, or maybe because you're a Southerner. Annoyed by these so-called qualifications, she simply said, not now. I'm stuck. Jonathan, I can't. I'm brain dead. I could use some of those drugs. Got any samples? She threw off the comforter and sat up, her sigh total resignation. Why'd you come back so soon? I thought you'd spend the weekend out there. You really don't care, do you? Katharine asked. Their open marriage was a joke. Nothing open about it. Their lovers over the year anonymous. No polyamory, only sex. Emotional fidelity off the table. That's what they agreed on. Jonathan's struggle with sobriety had given her carte blanche. I'm in no position to negotiate your love life. That's how he had framed it. She never expected this to happen. Now it seemed their so-called pact was a slow-acting poison that threatened to destroy what little they had left. His shoulders sunk. I don't get it. What do you want me to say? I want to be here for Ellie. Her opening's 2 weeks away. She wouldn't admit she wanted to be here to try and work things out, that he actually mattered too. So familiar, this hot and cold. It was happening a lot lately. Could be perimenopause, but Jonathan didn't dare mention it for fear she'd think he'd joined the ranks of misogynists who always scrutinized women's behavior. Besides, he couldn't trust his judgment. How could he after aborting his career, nearly losing his wife and kids? Catherine, what's going on here? Go back to work. I'll be fine, really. What about us? Jonathan wanted to say. Will we be fine someday? Someday soon? Thank you.